So you telling me? Yo, so you telling me?
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Danny J. Quick, and this is the Quick Comic Book Review, where we check out comics that you may not have ever heard of before. This week, we got a special treat. So, Chris Thomasma, Chris Thomasma, I think that's how you pronounce it. Correct me if I'm wrong, bro. But Chris Thomasma sent me Clarity Girl #1, The Adventures of Clarity Girl #1, his first standard comic. He's been putting out Clarity Girl comics on Tapas and other places for a long time, but this will be his first, I think his first print version of Clarity Girl, and I'm honored to be able to review it and check it out for him, and here we go. So you see the cover art here, The Adventures of Clarity Girl, Sarcastic Skull Studios, that's Chris Thomas's publishing company, his art studio there. You see rated T+. We'll get into that in a few minutes, the T+. But right off the bat, you see, the art style, the colorful art. See Clarity Girl here and Maggie on the cover, and you already know what it's going to be about. So, you open it up, get to this second page, you see this wonderful art by Apen. It's just, there's a lot of good here in this book, more good than bad. I enjoyed it. I'll tell you off the bat. But, it did have a few issues for me. The Adventures of Clarity Girl. Clarity Girl Origins Part 1. Okay, so bam, it's right there in the title. You know this is going to be an origin comic. Character and story art by Chris Thomasma. Background art by Michael Allen Pierce. Edited by Chuck Pinot. The cover by Tom. Variant cover by Apen. We saw that art a little bit earlier. Clarity Girl and characters created by Chris Thomasma. Okay, so if you don't follow Chris Thomasma on Facebook or anywhere, I say give him a follow. He's always dropping new Clarity Girl stuff on there for free that you can check out. But this book is, the beginning of the origin story. So here we go. So there we go. Birmingham, Michigan. Not the most popular Birmingham. I always think of Alabama when you say Birmingham. But he says, all this started like a year ago when I was 23. I'm assuming this is Clarity Girl starting. But wait a minute. What was... Okay, so my mom was missing. I was still living with my dad. Nacho Bell invented a new kind of burrito. My dad's business was going well. Besides my mom missing, it was pretty much paradise. But wait a minute. You said this all started like a year ago. What started a year ago? We'll get back to that. So, you go through the story, you see it's really colorful. The art is done really well. If you know, like I said, if you follow Chris Thomasma, you know this is his art style. The art, when you first look at it, it looks like it's geared to a younger audience. But again, you saw at the beginning, it's teen plus, so that can be anywhere 13, 16, 18. And the content is really good for right there in that teenage, middle school, high school range area. Chris's art style is one of those distinct art styles you can see when you first see it. You know whose it is. Every time I pull up Facebook or Instagram and I see him on there, I always know it's his art before I even look at it. Before I even look at the title, look at who it belongs to. A lot of these images are recycled in here, and that's fine. For a comic. One issue I have is it's a teen book, so I don't mind it being too much reading, but some of these sections are really thick here. Some of the dialogue is really thick. Y'all know I'm a letterer. I'm a graphic designer and letterer, so I'm kind of hard on when it comes to lettering. Some of this stuff could be broken up a little bit. I see he's using I believe this is Anime Ace, the font here, and some of this probably could have been broken up a little better, but overall, it's a good intro story. I definitely say check it out. Some of the stuff later on is a little, closer to older adult than young adult when you meet the villain and they start talking about their backstory a little bit. There's a lot in this book. You meet a lot of the characters. You don't get too deep into who they are or, what the circumstances around everything is, but you get just enough to make you decide if you want to check out the book, check out #2 when it comes out. And, you meet some interesting characters. Of course, Clarity and Maggie are the two main characters. The whole story revolves around them getting this serum. There's this serum that Clarity's dad invented, and of course he's a scientist. And you know, these 4 formulas are called Clarity. So he offers, you know, his daughter one. The first one, Clarity, one gives her the ability to create matter out of thin air and fly. Clarity 2 gives the ability to teleport anywhere you can imagine. Clarity 3 gives the ability to control fire. And lastly, Clarity 4 gives you any ability imaginable. As remarkable as this is, it'll never be in effect. Humanity is too corrupt for a weapon of that caliber. Okay, so you can tell right there in page 7 what's going to happen. Of course, somebody's going to get their hands on this Clarity number 4, and Clarity's gonna have to shut him down. So besides some of the stuff with the lettering, I really didn't have any problems with the comic. I enjoyed it. It was easy to follow. Like I said, there's a lot crammed in there, but each character has a distinctive style. Clara and Maggie. Clara's got that blue streak in her hair. You know, her father. He does a good job of keeping the characters looking consistent, and they all have their own color scheme. So there are a couple of characters that you do see that you don't get much about, but you know, okay, this is her father. This is, you know, another guy in the corporation, and then the villain really has a good design also. So even though well, I won't tell you. I won't go there. I'll let you check that out for yourself. But the only other thing that I would say about this is that I think it would benefit from a hook at the beginning. Like I said, it talked about this all started a year ago, but what was this that all started a year ago? You don't find that out until the end of the book, what it was that they're getting into. And I think, a standard storytelling is to hook somebody at the beginning. So if we would have just put one page in there, where they were fighting, or Clarity Girl was in trouble or something, and then flashed back to all this. Since it is a flashback, I think it might have benefited from that, just from a storytelling standpoint. But other than that, I'm pleased with it. I'd give this a solid 4 out of 5 quicknesses. That's my new rating scheme. You'll see the quick heads popping up on the screen. So from now on, I'm going to be rating these comics out of 5 quicknesses, and you'll see them populate down there. So Clarity Girl number 1 gets 4 out of 5 for me. Had a lot more good in it than bad, especially for an origin, a number 1. It's way better than I think I did with my first comic. So I definitely say check it out. I'll put links in the description to where you can go download it, where you can go check it out when it's released. And like I said, follow Chris Thomasma and his team on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, wherever you do your social media stuff. As always, I want you, if you like my video, give it a thumbs up. I always say subscribe to survive. And until next time, stay vigilant, my friends. I'm out.
Dirty Costello.
So you telling me if I